Recording in progress.
WBZD.
Hey guys, welcome back to WBZD. I'm Ashlyn.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Ronnie.
I'm Joyce.
And we are
GT14.
architecture students at the University of Hawaii studying abroad at Tongji University in Shanghai. In the last podcast, we talked about our internships, and we are actually wrapping up our internship experience right now. And unfortunately, we are leaving China soon.
So sad. Literally so sad.
All our friends are also leaving, so we kind of sense that we're like towards the end already.
Yeah, it's finally hitting us as people are literally leaving. Like, bye, I'm leaving. We should have dinner because it's time to go. We're like, oh, it's the end.
So unfortunately, for this podcast as well, we are reaching the end of our season 1. So sad.
It is super sad.
But don't you worry, we will be back for season 2, and hopefully you guys will be introduced into GT15 as they go into their experiences in China, and we head back to Hawaii so we can talk about our experiences in Hawaii, and they'll be talking about their experiences in China.
Double a cohort, double the awesome.
So I think what would be really cool today is just kind of talking about our experiences, maybe some things that we may have talked about culture shocks in the beginning, and maybe how your perspectives changed, or anything that you enjoyed the most here in China. I can go first. So I think in the beginning when I was talking about culture shocks, and we're talking about the squat toilets, and I have an update. I have actually used a squat toilet before. So I did have to eventually use it because there were just hardly any normal seated toilets, but it actually went pretty well. Like, I think just to me, originally, it was hard to visualize like how to do it. But then once like you kind of go through the motions, it's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of normal.
Yeah, you get used to it after a little while. There are like, I'd say most places you can usually, like you're saying, find a Western toilet, but there is probably over the course of a year, you'll find like one spot and you're like, well, here we go. But there are, if you are nervous about it, there's some really good videos on YouTube that I sent my family when they came to visit because they were really nervous about squatty potties and using the squat toilet. And there's a lady that does like a really good demonstration about like how to do it. So find those if you're really nervous. But yeah, like you're saying, it's not a big deal.
I think overall, I really enjoyed this entire trip. Just being able to explore a different city for a whole year, or a different country, actually. Like being able to travel to all these different parts of China and seeing how different each city is amazing. And I've actually learned a lot, whether that's through the internship, whether that's through taking classes in Tongji, or whether that's through meeting with friends, like international friends, and learning more about their country and what they have to share. I really learned a lot, and I really enjoyed the time we had in China. It's truly sad to see everyone leaving. Yeah.
While you're on the topic of talking about what things you have learned, you came in here knowing Chinese, and can you talk about how maybe living here helped you maybe learn a little bit more?
Definitely. So like, I feel like my Chinese 100% improved, whether that's through like reading comprehension, whether that's through speaking. I feel like I got a lot more comfortable expressing myself in Chinese and just being able to talk to people and to ask questions and things. I feel like I still struggle a little bit with Chinese, but I feel like it's improved a lot. And yeah, I feel like the amount of Chinese I knew, I'm able to help my friends get through China.
Definitely Joyce has been helping in the past couple of days trying to figure out some stuff. And we're like, come help. Which has been super helpful.
I think in the beginning, I was like really afraid. Like I was worried that my Chinese is not at the level that it should be in terms of like getting around and just living in China. But then, and I was like the first few days when my mom was here, I was really dependent on her because I'm like, oh, I don't know how to ask them for this. I don't know how to say this. But then I guess living here for a whole year and just being in this environment, it really forced me to be more comfortable with Chinese, and it really helped me get through China.
She's having like full-on conversations with the taxi drivers now. We were on an hour and a half drive to the airport in Beijing, and they were just talking the entire ride.
That's so cool. Do you find people here in China, or like I guess specifically in Shanghai, are pretty patient with you as you're like maybe trying to figure out the words to say or whatever? Because I know me as like a white guy, they're like, oh, he definitely does not speak Chinese. But you like being able to understand and speak Chinese. Do they have patience with you as you're trying to understand them?
Maybe not patience, but it's more like I've noticed this. But in bigger cities like Beijing and China, they're more willing to talk to you, and they're more enthusiastic about like sharing their stories and asking us about our experiences in China and being an American Chinese American, or just coming from America. But then when you go to the smaller cities like Hangzhou's still pretty big, but like compared to Shanghai and Beijing, it's smaller. Hangzhou, Suzhou, and Dongfeng, you can definitely sense this difference because they're less open to talking to strangers compared to Shanghai and Beijing. Like they're pretty open to talking to you whether you're a foreigner or not.
Well, what has your guys' favorite thing been so far? Favorite experiences, favorite place you've been to, favorite food?
I don't know if I could like whittle it down to like one thing, but I've realized like now as I'm like, it's finally hitting me that it's like winding down, that I've like legitimately enjoyed my experience here. For me, I'm not a kind of person that like usually gets like culture shock like really bad or like homesickness or whatever for some reason. But I was a little bit worried about coming here and like speaking zero of the language and what it was going to be like. But being here for the past year and like still not being able to speak the language, I've like genuinely grown to like love China and like living here in China, and really, and all the other international students we've met, and realize that like most of the people around the world, like we're all on the same page and we all want the same goals and the same things in life. And it's just nice to get that refreshing perspective when I then like listen to the news and it's all like, oh, this and anti this and blah, 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 and so much fighting, things like that. But then when you actually like are willing to sit down and talk with people, you realize like, oh, we're all like basically here for the same things and we're all trying to do the same things. And it's just really nice and refreshing that way. So I think that was just a really nice, refreshing cleanse of palate, I guess, maybe coming here to China and realize that even on the opposite side of the world, a quote unquote enemy of the United States, like people here are like super friendly, really like nice. And I don't know, it's really great. And that the culture isn't as different as I was expecting it to be. Like I feel quite at home here without there being any issues.
Yeah, I think like the friends that we have met here, they basically feel like family to us already. Like it is really sad to see that they're going, and we've talked about certain people have left earlier. We felt like they were just on a quick trip and they're going to be back. Like we're going to see them eventually, but unfortunately they are gone. But hopefully they will come to visit us in Hawaii and we'll be able to see them again, because I just can't imagine not seeing them. Like it still hasn't hit me that I'm not going to be able to see them for a long time until one of us visits each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still hasn't quite clicked in my head that they're all gone in the past like week or two. I'm like, oh, yep, they're leaving.
Everyone just slowly like moving, and just I think the first person that's, or one of our friends that left, and then we just went out and celebrated with him, and then also escorted him to the airport as well.
At, what was it, 7 o'clock in the morning?
Well, we're talking about kind of moving out. We are in the process of trying to pack all of our stuff. And I don't think I've told this to the podcast, at least. I told you guys. But I've came here with only one suitcase and hardly any clothes, hardly anything, because I just assumed I was going to buy a lot of stuff here. And I sure did. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But so it has been a little bit of a challenge to try to figure out my packing situation. And I actually had to ship some of my things home because just the amount of luggage you're allowed on an airplane, it just made more sense, because we are stopping in Korea beforehand, that I might as well just ship it all the way home and just pick it up there. But yeah, what has your guys' experience been packing wise?
I haven't really started packing, even though we're leaving in a week, because my parents and basically my whole family is coming to visit me this last week, and we're leaving Shanghai together. So I was told to not buy any new suitcases because we already have a lot of suitcases at home. So I've been asking my family to bring a lot of empty suitcases up here, and I'm just waiting for those suitcases and putting my stuff in there. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff too.
I kind of did the opposite of Ashlyn and brought like the maximum amount I could in my 2 suitcases. I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to be super budget conscious, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that I have like zero self-control when it comes to like living in a super consumerist society like China. I bought a bicycle and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to try and take it home. Hopefully. We'll see. So the airline I chose, I'm doing a direct, or like one ticket with a one stop in Tokyo, but the airline I chose lets you bring a big bicycle box as one of your luggages. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll work. But yeah, you definitely will buy stuff if you come here.
I also did the same thing as Ronnie. Like, I just bought 2 big suitcases, but one of them is full and the other one is like empty. So like I still have space, but I didn't realize that I will also buy a lot more than I expected to buy. So I don't have that many spaces in my luggage.
Since we only have about a week here, well, actually, Ronnie's staying here a little bit longer, but us girls are leaving in about a week. Is there any like last minute things that you guys are trying to do before leaving Shanghai?
I initially had a lot of things that I really wanted to do, but didn't get to do within this whole 1 year. I feel like because I know that I will come back one day, I'm not too sad that I'm not able to do, or I didn't do these things yet. Like, I don't really regret it, but I feel like this one whole year was really fulfilling for me. Yeah. So I don't think I regret anything. And I feel like all the things that I didn't get to do, I could do it later. And yeah, I felt like I spent a lot of time with my friends, and that's what's worth it the most.
I think for me, I did hit all the check boxes that I wanted to do, at least here in China, not Shanghai specific, but I really wanted to see a panda. I went to go see a panda. And I really wanted to see the Great Wall, which we actually were able to see this past weekend. And it was a little bit iffy if we were going to see the Great Wall or not, because during this time there was like a typhoon coming and there was bad weather. So in the beginning, we thought we weren't going to be able to see the Great Wall, which I was super sad about, because that was like the one thing I kind of wanted to see while being in China for a full year. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was just kind of surreal that everything worked out in the end. Speaking about the Great Wall, Ronnie, do you want to talk about your huge accomplishment?
I have a slightly different Great Wall experience. So when I got here, I was realizing that I was eating a lot more food than I was planning on. I was like, I'm going to lose weight while I'm in China. I was like, that's not happening. And so I decided to kind of like force myself to exercise, because I've always been terrible at doing that and keeping on like an exercise plan, that I would sign up for a half marathon to do while I was here. And for religious reasons, I can't do a marathon on Sunday, which most of them are, but I found one that was on Saturday. And instead of just being like a normal, the Shanghai Marathon or the Beijing Marathon, it's actually a marathon on top of the Great Wall of China. And so it's like all steps, and it's on one of the like not preserved parts yet. So it's like crumbling and you're just like on a knife's edge. It was kind of cool. But it was definitely the most intense thing I've ever done in my life, for sure. Doing a half marathon, which is like about 22 kilometers, I think, distance-wise. And I think by the time we were done, our watch had said we had like climbed 9 kilometers or something like that, like vertical change. It was crazy. But it was a really, really cool experience being able to see it like that. And the group that I did it with is all volunteers, and like all the money they make from like registration and everything all goes back to the community. They do like scholarships for local kids so they can go to college and things like that, which was really cool. And just being able to see all the local people there that were like cheering us on and giving us water bottles, and it was just really cool experience. And I had the chance to have my family come and visit, a few of my extended family members and my brother and sister, and I didn't think any of them were going to come visit China. And so that was just really cool to have them there with me, do that with me, and then be able to travel around a little bit. So it was really, really cool. Definitely recommend if anybody wants to do it. It's called Conquer the Wall Marathon. It was really cool.
That is really cool, and I applaud you, because I don't think I could ever do that.
Thanks.
We were on the Great Wall and it was hot. Number one. Number two, it was very hilly. So we were just sweating. And then the entire time I was like, I don't know how Ronnie did this.
looking back, they just recently produced like a promotional video of like, hey, these are our accomplishments. I'm like, what was I thinking? It's so crazy, but it was definitely cool. Definitely a once in a lifetime thing to do while you're here, for sure. And then I also kind of agree with you guys that like there's a lot of things I would like to have been able to do here, but just like time wise and like there's only so much you can do in a year. And China is a massively huge country and it's super diverse. So of course I was places I'd like to go like the far west of China and like down to like the Tibetan regions and things like that. And I didn't get to go down to Hong Kong or southern China either. But there's always chances to come back. And
I know I'll be back and come and visit my family and come back and visit all the other places that I didn't get to see.
I feel like even then, the next time we come here, we know what to do though. Because I feel like within this 1 year, we got used to using RedNote to search for things to eat nearby and what to do in these areas. Like over time, me, Ashton, and Natalie, we went to a lot of places in China, and even like Hong Kong and Taiwan. But over time, I feel like we got more comfortable using the Chinese apps and websites to help us get around these areas much more efficiently. And I feel like we were able to do a lot in like 1 or 2 days. And we got to see everything that we wanted to see when we visit a place. So I feel like the next time we come, whether that's with family or with friends or alone, I feel like we know what to do.
you've already kind of finished that like learning curve when you first get here. So now you can just like hit the ground running.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
We know where to get the discounts.
Right, yeah.
We know to go to a spa if the hotel is too expensive.
Oh, true. Yeah, you guys should briefly talk about your 24-hour spa experience.
Ashton?
Well, when we were trying to find ways to go to Beijing, because our time was very limited, we only had like 1 weekend to kind of just go and do it. So we booked our train tickets, and our next thing was obviously to find a place to stay. And we were looking into hotels, and hotels were expensive. Yeah, they were on the pricier side. And we were like, okay, well, if we have to do it, we'll do it. And then I don't really know what popped in my head, but like I was like, oh, why don't we do a 24-hour spa? Because I've heard that it's like a very common thing here, and we had never done one before. Like we haven't been to a spa here, so we kind of just looked into it, and we found one that was decently close to like the city area, and so we booked it because it ended up being cheaper than booking a hotel. And they gave like obviously there's like showers there. And they give free ice cream, free drinks, free fruits. And honestly, it was pretty a good experience.
It's so cool.
When we were on the taxi to the airport on the way back from Beijing to Shanghai, I told the driver about this and how we actually stayed at a spa rather than staying in a hotel because it's much cheaper. He was like, oh, you guys are so smart for this. This is coming from a Beijing local.
Local approved.
It was like super convenient too because, I mean, obviously we weren't given a bed. We had to just like sleep on a couch, but it was super comfortable. But they also give you a locker so you can put all your stuff away, and like there's a lot of clean towels. You can shower as many times as you want. Eat as much as all the ice cream you can eat, all the fruits you can eat, all the drinks you can drink, and just kind of relax. And there was different saunas that we went into. And it was kind of funny because we went into a sauna and we're like, okay, like this feels really nice. Like a little bit after 5 minutes, we're like, okay, let's get out because it's hot. And then now we come back to Shanghai and it is just hot. You're walking out and it feels like a sauna.
Yeah, ever since the typhoon came last weekend, wherever, it's been so hot ever since here in Shanghai, like almost 100 degrees and high humidity. And it's really, really hot recently. So being back in Hawaii, I will not miss that part of being in Shanghai, the summer weather. It'll be nice to be back in Hawaii for that.
I think this goes into one of my culture shocks, maybe towards the end of my trip, is that I hear the cicadas, and I think it's my first time experiencing like cicadas. They're loud. They're like, I woke up one morning, I think it was when we came back from Beijing. I woke up one morning and I was like, is that construction outside? And then Ashley was like, oh, I heard that too. But you also thought it was construction. But then it went on for a really, really long time. And then when I came back at nighttime, it was still going on. And I was like, is that cicadas?
But I think it's pretty crazy that we were able to experience like all the seasons here. Like it hasn't really hit me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way that we've been here for a full year. I felt like coming here, I would have like felt that it has been a long time and a full year away from home because this has been the longest I've been away from home like consecutively. And so it is kind of shocking to me to be like, oh shoot, I'm leaving soon. Like that initial shock of wow, it's hit a year already.
Yeah. Time really passes by really fast.
Yeah, for a lot of the time I was like, oh, I still have like 3 months. I can do stuff. We can push that back or like focus on this and whatever. And then you're like, oh, yep, it's been a year. That's crazy. Goes by way too fast.
I think it just shows how much we actually enjoyed our experience here. Like time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. And I think it's also been nice. We were talking a little bit about all our friends. Like now that we've made friends from all over the world, like everybody is so friendly and like, oh, you should come visit my place and you can come visit my place and you can stay with me and you don't have to buy a hotel and blah, 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 blah. And so it's nice to have like this like big like friend network now all over the world from like Europe and Morocco and or Russia. And where else are people from?
Austria.
Yeah, from like all over the place. It's super cool. I think maybe that'd be a big suggestion for anybody listening to this, whether you come here or go somewhere else, is like always be open to like talking with other people. Because chances are they're just being shy and nervous like you are too, and would be more than happy to talk with you. And so if you're just willing to like make that initial like, oh hi, where are you from? It can turn into like really long lasting friendships. Like our two Austrian friends, they like were at a meeting and afterwards I was just like, oh hey, how are you guys? And it turned into like a lifelong friendship. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna really miss hanging out with them and trying new things with them. Like we mentioned in the past podcast, like going curling. I don't think I would ever done that in my entire life. And just being able to just have friends who are so down to do anything and everything and just try something new, try different foods, try different activities. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss that.
Yeah.
There was one thing that David and Roland and our other friend Bea from Chile would always go on excursions that one of the like student organizations on campus does, and they've been like down to like near Tibet because international students can't go to Tibet on their own, but they're like right next to it, and they've gone to like northern China during the winter festivals and things like that. And so I definitely recommend doing things like that if you have time and resources to do. So it's really cool. It's very, very cost effective and much cheaper than just doing it on your own. And they would always go and do crazy things like that. Like, oh yeah, we went like ice fishing today and we went snowmobiling and all this stuff, and which was really cool. And then they went like super high elevation hiking down near Tibet and things like that. So definitely recommend, if you financially and time wise can make it work, it would definitely be a lifetime experience, once in a lifetime experience, and they seem to have really liked it.
Do you guys have any suggestions or places that you recommend people going who are coming to China?
Definitely Beijing. When you come to China, you must see the Great Wall of China. I feel like when we went there, maybe because we were worried in the beginning that we weren't able to see it. So when we did get to see it, it was just breathtaking. Like we were on the Great Wall. Before we even got onto the Great Wall, we were excited that we were even able to, I don't know, see it, you know? But then when we were taking the cable car up to see to be on the Great Wall, we saw glimpses of it and we're just like, wow, we're literally right in front of us. And then once you're like on it, you're like, whoa, I'm on the Great Wall, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And I've been to Beijing before when I was 14, but then just the experience of being back there and just being on it, it was amazing. And yeah, definitely breathtaking. Even if it was like not the best weather to go during that time, I feel like just seeing it is just wow.
That was our catchphrase the entire time. If you watch any of our videos back, you just hear us in the background, wow, wow, wow.
It's like the subtitle of our entire trip to China, just wow.
Wow. I think one place I would recommend people to go are the islands that we went to.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't
yes,
really
yes.
remember if we talked about that on the podcast, but
I don't think so.
we did go to the islands near Shanghai.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Shanghai, I think. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's Shanghai. It's not part of Shanghai, but
Yeah, it's a
it's
separate county.
yeah. I think it's part of Zhejiang or something. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on this. This is probably not the most accurate information. But it's like a group of islands towards the south of Shanghai. And the only way to get there is through a ferry. But these islands were really pretty, and we were basically scootering everywhere. It was such an amazing experience. And I feel like we really liked it. We really enjoyed it because it really reminded us of Hawaii. Like, it was a nice break from the big cities.
And it was only, cause on the way back, we did a direct ferry and bus combo ticket. And it was only, what, like 2 hours-ish, 2.5 hours, something like that, from like the far island that we were at all the way back into Shanghai. So I would definitely also recommend it. Like if you're curious, if you're looking at a map of Shanghai, it's all the little tiny islands off in the Pacific Ocean to the south, east of the city. And it was really cool. Like I got like the Hawaii vibes, but also when this here in Shanghai, they have like the rental bicycles, and the same companies have rental electric mopeds on some of the islands. And I got like Italian Riviera vibes, as we'd be like up in like the mountains along the coast, it's like going down these windy roads, and then there'd be like this little town with like whitewashed walls on the beach, and then you'd go up back up into the mountains to the next town. It was amazing. And not that expensive. It was like surprisingly cheap, I feel like. And the seafood was really good.
Oh yeah, seafood was good.
And we visited one of the famous abandoned towns that you see pictures all over social media. At least I do. I don't know. Maybe it's one of the few things I've looked up on social media here. But it's an old town that's abandoned now. It's covered in vines, and it's just really, really beautiful. You can go visit there.
Just wear long pants when you go there. There's gonna be so many mosquitoes.
That is true.
This is also the place where we met our new friend, our new Chinese friend called One. She's actually a friend of Roland, and she's from Nanjing. So she was able to take us around and like kind of guide us around in the islands, and she helped us a lot. We were so grateful for her being there, and she was really nice. So when we did go to Nanjing, we actually got to visit her school. In Chinese, it's called the Dongnan Daxue. But she told us a little bit more about the Chinese history, and we also got to see her school, which is also known for architecture and urban planning. So it was really nice to see the difference between Chongji University and her school.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to make connections with friends of friends. Because I think David and Roland were at an architecture competition or something in Nanjing or something at the very beginning, and they met her there, and then they just kept in touch. And it's so easy with everybody having WeChat here. Just like, oh, can we scan your WeChat? We'll keep in touch. And you just scan their QR code, and then you have their contact, and you can keep in touch with people. It's really cool. And I feel like most everyone I've talked to here, even if it is just through like WeChat translation or a translation app, or like most people in China are like ridiculously like proud of where they're from and want to share their culture and like and they're like, oh, you should come visit here, and this does this, and it's amazing. And it's just really cool to see that like pride that they have and where they're from and things like that, and want to share that with other people.
I think another highlight of my whole trip is actually being able to intern at Ikari and just being able to work with a GT alumni. This is like towards the end of our internship, but being able to work with someone who came out from the same program as you and actually got to experience similar things that you're experiencing, that is really nice, because they're able to guide you through your experience in China, and they're really accommodating and really nice. So I really appreciate that.
There is a huge, I guess, what do you call it, like network of GT alumni around the world. I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, but we had, when it was like close towards the beginning of the time we were here, we had like a get together of all the GT people here in Shanghai, which was really cool, and get to meet them and talk with them. And I think that's where kind of we made the connection with your advisor, and he was like, yeah, you guys can come do an internship at my place, which is super cool. And so of course they're just like super excited that there's people still doing the GT program, and it's like a huge part of their life and becomes a huge part of your life, and it's just really cool to have that connection. Are there any foods that you guys suggest that you weren't expecting or were different than what you thought they were going to be or something like that?
I feel like no, but I feel like I got to try a lot more variety of Chinese food. I feel like in Hawaii, I'm kind of stuck with Cantonese food, especially because my family owns a restaurant and they're more Cantonese food focused. But being in Shanghai, I'm able to try so many different types of food. There's just so much more variety that I got to explore. And besides Chinese food in Shanghai, we also got to try a lot of other foods, especially towards the end of a trip since all our friends are leaving and they're like, oh, I know this one Russian restaurant. We should go check it out because I'm leaving. And yeah, just being able to try all types of food around the world, it's amazing.
I think for me, in terms of food, I kind of stepped out of my shell. I feel like normally I'm the type, I wouldn't say I'm a picky person, but maybe this will make me a picky person. But normally when I like a type of food, then that's kind of just what I eat. And I'll just kind of go back to that. And I will try new foods, but I'm a little bit more hesitant. While here in China, at least like for the canteen culture, like you go there and you kind of don't really know what things are, and you're kind of just grabbing things. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, well, that's okay. You can grab something different next time. But yeah, I was able to try so many different foods, and I think I was just shocked at there are so many different varieties and different ways you can cook something. Like the way that they cook vegetables here is absolutely crazy. Like I've said this before to the girls that I think I could go vegetarian here because the way that they cook vegetables here are so delicious. And I think one time I only picked out vegetables at the canteen once because that's just like the best things there. Like the meats are good too, but yeah, the vegetables here are so delicious. And I think like before I didn't really eat vegetables that often, but now I'm like gravitating towards it.
There are, like so many different options. Like I think the idea in my head of Chinese food was just kind of my experiences living in Southeast Asia, of which most of those people are kind of typically from like Southeastern China, heritage wise. And so it's a lot of Southeast Chinese food, kind of like you're talking about Cantonese food. Whereas here in Shanghai, there is so much diversity of people coming here for work, and then they bring their food with them and things like that. Like went to a Shaanxi, Xi'an area restaurant a couple days ago with two of our friends, and it's completely different from food that's from here and stuff like that. And it's just nice to be able to have those different things. Be like, oh, what should we do today? Oh, let's go try a whatever restaurant. Let's go try a whatever restaurant. And it's, like even if it's quote unquote expensive, it's not that expensive compared to what we're paying in the US. And so it's nice to be able to have the freedom to try different things, not be like, oh, well, my budget says I have to eat ramen noodles today and things like that because we're about the same price. You can go try all these other foods, which is really cool.
And it's fruit season right now. I'm looking at our peaches on our table right now. But yeah, there's so many different fruits here. And it's so crazy because you're walking past those stores that only sell fruit. And you just see a bunch of people buying them. And you just see so many different like types of fruits. And you're just like, wow, I didn't realize that there's so many. And then you try them and it's like, oh, these are delicious. I've never tried mangosteen yet. And I think that is one thing I want to try before I leave. But I don't know, we tried this type of nectarine or peach last night. So good. It was super sweet. It was like, oh my goodness, I've been missing out on this, and I like should just buy more fruits, but I just don't have time.
Right. I think there is like such a huge diversity of like the food and the produce. It's obviously, I haven't done any research, but it seems to me like the food system here is much less corporate and big business than it is in the US. So there is way more variety. Like if you go on like Taobao or something like that, you can buy fruit and vegetables directly from the farmer. And it's like some variety of peaches that I'd never heard of. So it's like, oh, I'll try that for $2 for like 5 pounds of peaches. Why not? And they end up being like super delicious or whatever. And conveniently enough, I just bought some mangosteen, so you can try that.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
my favorite fruit.
Talking about like stepping out of your comfort zone, I feel like traveling really made me do that. Because traveling to different regions of China, there's also different types of food. So you look up on Reno and you find something that is new and you might be hesitant to try it. Kind of like the fermented soy milk that we tried in Beijing. I was really hesitant because I heard a lot of stories of people not liking it. But I still got to try it and decided that I really don't like it.
Verified.
I thought they tried it before because the entire time they're like, oh, Ashley, you should try it. You should try it. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if you're telling me to try it, I'll try it. So they ordered it and then I tried it and they're like, is it good? Is it good? I'm like, wait, you don't know?
You're literally the guinea pig.
But yeah, I think traveling really made me step out of my comfort zone in that sense. And it really allowed me to try a lot more different types of food. Even in Nanjing, they're really famous for their duck noodle soup. It's like duck vermicelli noodle soup, but it's mainly duck intestines and like inner stuff. I'm not the type of person to eat that, but I still tried it and it was pretty good. I don't think I'll eat the intestines again, but the noodles were really good.
But it's like one of those things like you never know until you try, right?
Yeah.
So might as well try it.
Yeah.
Try something crazy, something new. It's not going to kill you. And even if you only eat like one bite, you're like, no, it's definitely worth the like $3 or $4 to buy and try it.
I think also living up here, I feel like I have grown as a person. Like, I found out so many different things about myself that I've never known before. And maybe that's because I was just afraid to try different things. But up here kind of just allowed me to be like, hey, no one really knows who I am. Like, I can just kind of do whatever. And yeah, I think it's just pretty interesting to see how far I have come. I feel like before coming here, I was a little bit more introverted and I was more shy to talking to new people, but definitely trying to meet our new friends and stuff, like it had opened me up and maybe made me a yapper. So maybe good or bad for the people when I come home.
Like, you are such a different person.
Because like even before, this might be a shock to you guys, but like I used to not sing in like karaoke rooms.
What?
Like it used to frighten me to sing even in front of friends. Yeah.
Me too.
Ashlyn has an amazing
my
voice.
goodness.
Yeah,
so
Ashlyn has
so
a great voice.
But yeah, I definitely, at least because like I would obviously sing in front of like my really close friends, but like for people who I just met like a couple months ago, like I don't think I would have ever just gone into a room and just sing. So it was kind of like I've grown and just been more comfortable with just singing in front of different people.
That's really good to hear. You should sing more. She got me into musicals.
Oh yeah, we're slowly getting Joyce into musical theater.
That has been our number one goal of China. No, just kidding.
This is not sponsored, but Joyce's new favorite song is called New York, and it's from a musical called Two Strangers Who Carry a Cake Across a City.
If you haven't listened to it, you will love it. Go listen to it.
Go listen to it right now.
I think I also have grown quite a bit, just kind of like you were saying, like going and living somewhere new. Like moving to Hawaii was quite new for me and like a different experience moving from the mainland US. But still the US, like there's still that like same amount of like comfortability, I guess you could say. Whereas coming here, it is kind of like a hard reset where you're just like you're saying, like nobody knows me. I can be who I want to be, or I can try different things. I can try new things. But I think that also applied to like my academic studies as well. Like I think I've mentioned before on one of the podcast episodes, like my doctoral thesis idea right now is completely like, I don't know, like beyond 360, it's like 720 degrees different from what I was planning on doing originally when I was in Hawaii, because of the experiences I've had here and meeting people and talking with people and being open to new ideas and things like that, which I would not have had that experience, I don't think, if I had stayed in the US or in Hawaii and been kind of like still in my like silo of, oh, this is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to do. Whereas here it's like forced to be like confronted with new ideas and different things and different opinions that have, I think, made me a better person, like more open to new ideas and things like that, which is really cool.
I agree. I definitely feel like I've grown a lot professionally in terms of professionally and academically, just because being here in China, there's so much problems to solve together, and just the projects that we're working on, we have to work together. So it made me a better communicator.
Before coming here, I never touched a bike and I didn't know how to ride one. But then after a year of hesitant and all that, I can kind of sort of somewhat ride a bike in China.
You've ridden home from like far distances. Good job.
I would say like I was hesitant coming here because I haven't been home for a very long time, and this is like my very first time traveling so far from home, and it is in China. So I was kind of okay being here since I know a little bit of Chinese and to get by and living here. But it is like far away from home, and this is my first time not having any family members with me. So like yeah, after a year, I didn't realize like time flies so fast that it is time to pack up everything and go back home.
I actually have a question for everyone. Have you guys ever missed home within this one whole year? Like, have you ever missed anyone at home or just missed home in general? Because I can go first. I definitely missed home. Like, yeah, being here for 1 year, it's a long time, but it also felt short. I feel like I've been so busy at times that I forget that, oh yeah, my family is, our home is in Hawaii. But there's times where I'm like, oh, I really miss my family. I really miss my dogs, my parents. And like, it never hit me until like super late at night when I'm just like thinking. And then it's like, oh, wow, I've been away for a really, really long time. Like, it's nice that we're so able to contact them through like WeChat and FaceTime and whatnot. But like, it hits me sometimes where it's like, whoa, I've been away for a really, really long time.
I didn't really miss. Oh, I did kind of miss them at first in the beginning when coming here because my aunt came here with me, and then she left. And then I didn't really miss home until after they came, like maybe a couple weeks before we had to leave. In June they came to visit me, and then they had to leave. But I never really missed them until like they actually left. I'm like, oh, I miss them now.
I think it's slightly different for me because I did go away for undergrad. So I kind of had that separation from my friends and family. And I'm not saying that I didn't miss my family and friends back home because I definitely did. But I feel like it was a different feeling of missing them versus missing home. Because I feel like in undergrad, I was like desperately missing home and I like really wanted to go home. And this time it was just kind of more missing the comfort and the familiarity with my friends and family and hanging out with them versus like being at home, if that makes sense. My friends are gonna hate the fact that I said I didn't miss home.
Excuse me?
I think it's just because, yeah, I mean, they call me and text me a lot and we keep in touch all the time. And they just told me like, oh, you've been gone for so long. And I'm like, really? It doesn't feel like I've been gone for that long. But yeah, I definitely do miss them.
I think for me, I'm kind of maybe similar where I've been away from home for like quote unquote home where I grew up for like almost 20 years now. And it's like always like moving around to different apartments and stuff. So I feel like I don't have like the grounded home for the past like while where it's like, oh yeah, Hawaii was kind of home for a while. And now I feel like China's home and just kind of moving around. So I feel like I haven't like longingly missed Hawaii. I've missed the people and friends I've made there and things like that, like living at the East West Center and then people at school and things like that. But knowing that I'll be back to see them again has kind of softened that blow quite a bit. And I think maybe the missing here when I go back to Hawaii might be a similar situation. Be like, oh, going back home to Hawaii, this will be home again now, and like I'll miss everybody here and things like that. But knowing that I could always come back and things like that will help soften that like, homesickness for China, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like coming here, there was kind of an end date of when we were going to go back home. So maybe in the back of my mind, I always knew like, oh, I'm going to be seeing them in a year. Like it's going to be okay. I'm going to just go experience something new and then I'll be back and I'm going to see them again for the rest of my life. But definitely I agree, like leaving here is much harder because we don't really know when we're coming back and it's going to kind of be up to us whenever we want to plan this trip again.
One last thought. Maybe we should give like a huge mahalo and thank you to Clark and setting up this program, especially now that he's retiring. For those that don't remember, he was on the podcast a few episodes ago, and he was the like founder of like this whole program and dual degree thing. And he's retiring this semester, and so I guess at least I want to say like a big mahalo to him for setting this up, because it has been like a life-changing, life-altering experience that I'm really, really grateful for. And also Vanessa, who's been helping us out in the office there, and now Lance, who's going to be the new director, and everybody back in Hawaii that's been super helpful. And our support staff, Shani, and everybody here at the office here in China, has been super, super helpful. So I feel like without any of them, like I would have been completely lost here and have no idea what I'm doing, and probably wouldn't even have come here. So, and super huge mahalo to Ben, who helped us set up this whole podcast that hopefully you all are enjoying. And all his support while he's been here in China this past, 6 months now or so. And his help and helping us with our studio competition and everything there, and teaching us and helping us understand different parts of China that I would not have experienced and understood without his guidance, and even like professional things and educational things, and him kind of pushing me to try new things. And so, yeah, just big mahalo to all the faculty and staff and everybody.
I want to say thank you to all the friends that we've met here and making our experiences truly amazing. And I really thank them for taking us to different places to eat, different places to visit, everything. Like all the experiences that we made here was because we were able to meet really great friends. And I wanted to thank GT14 for this amazing experience. And I was really happy that we were able to come here together and just like be able to experience everything together. There's a lot of things that if I came here alone, I wouldn't even be down to do myself. But then because we have each other, we can always reach out to each other and be able to go like, do you want to try this new restaurant? Yeah, sure, let's go. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Also, a huge thank you to our parents and our friends back at home. We definitely couldn't have done this without your guys' support through this whole journey. And we are excited to go back home and see you guys. So, although our experience here in China is coming to an end, don't you worry, this podcast is not ending. This is just the end of season 1. We will be back for season 2. We're just going to be taking a little break. And we will be introducing GT15 next season, and we'll be back in Hawaii as GT14 goes back to Hawaii. And we'll be talking about our experiences there, maybe reminiscing back on some of the things we experienced here in China. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in through this whole season. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to all our episodes. Mahalo, everyone, and we'll see you guys next season.
SHOOTZ! If you wish to continue to follow our journey, please follow us on Instagram at uhm.gt. And if you have any specific topics or questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below or email us at globaltrackarchitecture@gmail.com. And thank you again for joining us today. We hope to see you again soon.
SHOOTZ!